When it comes to your diet, are you being lazy? Welcome back for another video to recalibrate with Nate. And in this video, I wanted to talk about laziness. Now, we all suffer from this issue of being lazy, not feeling like making anything healthy for ourselves, not taking the time to prep up something, and there's chopping involved, and we have to blend something to make a salad or some sort of meal. A smoothie, of course, is quick and easy, but sometimes we can feel lazy, and we can feel like we don't want to take the time to make anything, and then therefore, sometimes, more times than not, in those lazy times, we're not eating enough. Maybe we're not eating the right sorts of foods. We're kind of, drawn to quick foods, maybe foods out of a bag or a box, which hopefully I would encourage you to clear out all the junk, funky foods to where you don't even have access to that kind of stuff around you. And I just really want to encourage you to not be lazy. Now, this is tricky because, like I said, we all feel lazy sometimes. Sometimes Liz and I aren't feeling like making a big, healthy meal, and we revert to something super simple and super quick and easy, like a French dressing or tahini and hot sauce for our dressing on our salad, because we eat salads every single day. Raw foodies, right? We don't eat any cooked food. We just eat fruits and salads and smoothies and banana ice cream, and that is essentially our diet. Now, I know it can seem really boring to people who eat all kinds of stuff and all kinds of stuff out of boxes and different foods that are out there that we have access to, but essentially, that's what we need to be healthy, is to get enough plants in our diet, a diversity of plants, being all kinds of different varieties of plants that are out there, and put them into either a salad or blend them up into a smoothie, just get those in. But I have people say, like, Nate, I'm lazy. I don't have the time to prep, and I don't have the time to create a healthy meal. And the first thing I'd like to say is, like, yo, you are worth it. You are worth the time. Now, of course, some individuals don't even care. They just come here to party. They do not want to live very long. Maybe they hate their self or they hate their life, and they don't even care. They just want to eat the funk and they want to stay drunk. And man, this world is so set up for us to stay in a state of unhealthy mind and body and everything. Like, alcohol is super cheap. There's super cheap, highly processed foods everywhere. And we want to naturally do things that are not very, we're always looking for the easy way out. Well, us as humans, we want things to be easy. We're naturally lazy creatures. And that's what makes disciplining ourselves so tricky. So this is a tricky one, man, because really, like, how could I help you become not lazy? Gosh. I mean, really, you have to want it. You have to want a healthy life, and you have to want good things for yourself. And that right there, maybe there's certain things that you can remind yourself of to not be lazy. Take the extra time. Maybe one trick would be, say you're making dinner and you're feeling good, chop up extra so that way you don't have to make lunch the next day. You've got lunch already chopped up, blending an extra dressing. If you're eating predominantly raw, right? These are the things that we like to do. If we're making a dressing that we know that is going to hold fresh, we'll make it for the next day. The ones that hold fresh the best are the ones with soaked nuts or seeds, a little higher fat. Those tend to stay fresher than, say, a low fat or a no fat dressing. I don't really like to say no fat because there's always like trace amounts of fat in everything. Even an apple has a little bit of fat. So it's interesting though, is I feel sad for people who are following a raw vegan diet and are very lazy. And it's very easy to just buy a case of peaches and eat peaches for weeks on end, or apples, or some people go on these islands like Watermelon Island. And I don't see that that's doing any beneficial things for them, and very possibly they can end up with nutrient and deficiencies, mineral and vitamin deficiencies, which isn't going to reflect well on the raw vegan diet. And I would like more people in the world to see how powerful a raw vegan diet is when it's done properly. Just like anything can be done improperly, if we follow a well-balanced raw vegan diet, we can meet all of our nutritional needs. And it is going to take some work though. Just like any diet is going to take some work. And our world isn't set up where you can just go drive through and get something healthy. Now, of course, if you're driving through anywhere, most of the stuff that isn't a drive-through isn't going to be healthy. And very possibly you're going to get 2 days worth of salt in one particular food. Say if you were to like drive through and grab a burrito, there's probably 2,500 to 3,000 milligrams of salt in that particular burrito. And really, optimally, all we need is about 500 to 1,000 milligrams of salt. But this is something that can be really tricky. Is I see a lot of raw foodies that are just lazy, and it doesn't reflect really well on the raw vegan movement, so to speak. If we were to call this a movement, it's a diet, man. Like, people have been eating raw foods forever, and there's people who've been eating nothing but raw foods for 40 years, 50 years, and they're still healthy and thriving, but we can't be lazy. But I know it's tricky because we can fall prey to being lazy. So the trick would be, think ahead. If you're feeling good, blend yourself up an extra dressing, high-fat dressing. If you're doing the high-fat dressing, like I said, those hold better for a longer period of time. And you can say, if you blend up a cashew-based dressing, maybe like a sour cream or something like that, you can make like a ranch or a dill dressing or something. That'll last a good 4 or 5 days and taste just the same as if it were to be made completely, eaten after it was made fresh. As well as chopping up some of the vegetables. If you're going to have, if you're following a healthy raw vegan diet, then think ahead and chop yourself up some cabbage and lettuce for the next day, to where all you have to do is just pour it in a bowl. You don't have to chop. Trying to do things for yourself to where you're loving yourself. Just love yourself. You're worth it. You're worth the time. Spend the time on yourself, and it's going to benefit you in the long run, 100%. One of the things that I like to do if I'm really feeling lazy is I'll make a smoothie, or I'll even have a mono meal of fruit. Like, I just don't feel like making anything, I'm going to have a watermelon, or I'm going to eat a honeydew melon, or I'm going to have a few mangoes or something. And that feels good for a little while, but then a little later I'm like, I'm feeling a little savory. I need to make something to eat. But when you get down to it, it only takes like 10 minutes, maybe 15 minutes to make a massive, awesome salad with all sorts of goodies in there. Bell pepper and beets and carrots and cabbage and maybe a little broccoli and some sprouts. If you got to sprout, of course, your seeds, the day before, these sorts of things. But man, I get bummed out when I see people who are following a raw vegan diet that are lazy, because I've got a list of several people, close to 150 people on this list, who have kind of wrecked themselves with the raw vegan diet. And not to say that you can't wreck yourself out there with a highly processed diet. Look what's happening to us. Look at the medications that we're on. Look at what's happening to our population, the obesity rate. These are unplanned diets too. These are people that are being lazy as well and just going for the quick, easy fix. So don't be lazy. I know it's hard. Like, man, it's tricky. We're naturally wired to just chill and just relax and lounge, but that's where discipline comes in. You do the hard things to make your life easy. If we're constantly doing the easy things, our life's going to be hard, right? And this is, I hate seeing this in the raw food community. I hate seeing people who are just mono-mealing mangoes for a month, doing disservice to themselves, causing mineral deficiencies, looking emaciated because they're not nourishing themselves with the proper amount of calories and the proper amount of vitamins and minerals and nutrients that the body needs to thrive. And then therefore, someone who maybe comes across this person, they're like, whoa, you're a raw vegan? And then they're like, man, I don't know about this raw vegan. This guy looked really sick, or this girl looked really sick, and they're lazy. Don't be lazy. It's easy for me to just sit here and tell you, don't be lazy, but don't. Don't be lazy. Follow a plan. If you need some help, we've got a meal plan app. We upload 6 new recipes every single month. 2 breakfasts, 2 lunches, 2 dinners. So there's 6 brand new recipes every single month added to that app. $5 a month. It'll generate out a whole week's worth of meals, breakfast, lunch, and dinner for you, snack ideas, a shopping list to follow, all the ingredients you need to buy to make these certain meals. Just follow it. It doesn't take much time. Once you get into the habit of taking the time, you just do it to it. It does not take much time. We don't have to be lazy. Now, I don't like to make super amazing gourmet meals every single day. Maybe once a week we might do something gourmet like a raw lasagna or some raw tacos or raw burgers or something rather, or like a mushroom marinara, kind of a spaghetti style thing with cucumber noodles or zucchini noodles. Most of the time we eat salad. I crave salads because I've grown my gut bacteria to just want salads. So therefore, I'm like, I need to feed them. I'm not going to be lazy. I'm going to get up and I'm going to make a salad really quick. And if I don't want to make a dressing, I do a quick dressing of just a tahini drizzle or like some smashed avocado and some lemon and some pepper. Super simple. It's delicious. It does take time to recalibrate the taste buds, but I know that if I'm going to feel like not making myself something to eat, I'm not setting a good example for the other individuals who are maybe looking in. I want to be a healthy, raw foodist for decades. And in order to do that, I can't be lazy. And I want to inspire you. If you're watching this channel, thanks for being here. Give yourself a thumbs up that you're still here. Let me know you're here in the comments below. I want to inspire you to take the time to prepare a healthy meal for yourself. A smoothie with fruits and some greens, 5 minutes. You're having a fresh smoothie. That's faster than making a cup of coffee, I guess, unless you do the Keurig. It's all about convenience and speed out there nowadays. And look what it's doing to us though. We have all this extra time because we make everything so convenient, yet we're unhealthy and we're like unsatisfied. I feel like we're malnourished in so many ways, and it's set up for us to be lazy. It is 100% set up out there for us to fail. Listen, I will go to Chipotle if we're strapped on time and we didn't bring anything and we're like on the road. We might stop through Chipotle and get a salad. Just taco lettuce, because it's shredded a little bit finer. We'll tell them to say, load it up, extra lettuce. We'll do 2 scoops of the pico, 2 scoops of the corn, and 1 of the avocado, the guacamole. And that's 2,500 milligrams of sodium. Blows my mind. Completely horrible in the sense of how much salt is in a fresh salad. So it's like, I'm looking at, I'm like, oh my gosh, like this system that we have built out here for convenience is not set up for us to be healthy. So we can't be lazy. We can't afford to be lazy if we want to live a healthy, vibrant life for decades to come. If you want to live a long life and see your kids grow healthfully and your grandkids, or maybe you don't have kids, but you want to be able to go hike in your 60s and 70s, 80s even, being thoughtful about what it is that you're putting into your body day to day is going to benefit you, and you can't be lazy. You got to take a little bit of extra time to plan. And that's why we've created, I'll put in the links in the description down below, recipe plans. We've got meal plans. We've got all kinds of goodies for you to help you where you don't even have to think, what am I going to eat today? You just follow the plan. Everything's 40% off. I'll put the links down below. I hope that this has inspired you in some way. It breaks my heart when I see people, especially raw foodies, who are lazy and they become nutrient deficient. They look emaciated and they end up on a channel like the deterioration of vegans. Like, man, we're not setting a good example. Let's not be lazy. Let's put in the time. We're worth it. Anyways, I hope you liked this. I hope you got something from it. Make sure you like and subscribe and all that good stuff, right? Hit the bell for notifications for new videos coming out every week. We'll see you on the next one. Love ya.